What's up, everybody? Destin Legary here, and there has been a major Division 2 update about how they're going to handle the game over the next few years and a departure. Let's dive right in and read this update from Massive. So, this was posted today, a few hours ago. It says the Division 2 road ahead. Agents, as promised a few days ago, we want to provide you with an update on the current status of the Division 2, its upcoming content, and the game's cadence moving forward. The Division 2 in 2020, we are proud of what we were able to achieve with the Division in 2020. As you may know on this channel, we did some Division videos at the beginning of the year, and they were really, really successful. I would love to see Division come back in a large way, and I've actually been thinking about hopping back in to see what's happening. Now I know what's going to be happening over the next year or so. So here's what they say. Like most of you, our team had to adapt to this new normal. Yet it was in that time that we reached an amazing milestone for the Division franchise. We are thrilled to announce that the Division franchise has reached over 40 million unique players. Great numbers. We wanted to take a moment to thank you, agents, for your continued support and passion for the games we create. The release of the Warlords of New York expansion in March 2020 also saw the highest monthly active users for the Division 2. The strong activity has been maintained throughout the past year as we continue to see agents on the streets of Washington, D.C. and New York, thanks to title updates bringing new changes and additions such as Seasons, Operation Iron Horse, and the Summit. So the raid was a really, really excellent addition. I actually had a really, really good time with that. I'm glad to see that they're still going to be updating the game and such. I think their biggest fault was when they banned all those players. There was like this turret glitch, and people were able to get this assault rifle exotic, and some players felt like that unbalanced the game. But I mean, sure, if you got the exotic and brought it into PvP, maybe, but I just think it was too far, and they've made that mistake before, and I hope they stop making that mistake in the future. I have a lot of videos on the channel about that, so if you want to know more about my initial thoughts of that, I thought it was just one of the worst things they possibly could have done for the game. Regardless, the raid came out a few weeks later, and it was a lot of fun. I've run through it a few times, and yeah, and then the summit also, the in-game event. So they go on to say, we wouldn't be here today without your passion and continued support. It is your support that fuels the future of the Division. So again, thank you. So what's next for the Division 2? If you don't know, they've recently acquired the rights to the Star Wars license. So a lot of people have been speculating, what's going to happen with the Division 2? Well, they sort of go into it here. They say, as announced a few weeks back, we have begun work on new content for Division 2. The development of this content will be led by a group of project veterans at Ubisoft Massive. This will see Adrian Troska and Yannick Ben Churo staying at the helm of the project as producer and associate creative director. We are also excited to announce that the new content will be made with the support of a talented group of developers at Ubisoft Bucharest. In the next major update, we are looking to bring a game mode that is entirely new to the franchise. Interesting. Entirely new game mode. Okay, I'm into it. Along with the new game mode, we're investigating new ways to progress your agent with an emphasis on increasing build variety and viability. Great. They've made that promise before. Hopefully they can figure out how to do it correctly this time, but they've really, really struggled with that system of having build variety and viability, because for so long it was just, okay, you want a DPS machine. Armor basically was meaningless. And, there were some really, really awesome skill builds, but it felt like it was all one way or all the other. There was no like middle ground build for a large portion of Division 2's height of success, right? Let's continue reading here. We will be revealing more about what lies ahead as the update gets closer. The development of this new update is still in its early stages and will take several months to complete. As a result, our next major update is currently scheduled for release in late 2021 at the earliest. So you're thinking like September, right? They want to hit that big window. We will be taking this time to make sure we bring a meaningful change to the game. Okay, I mean that's good, but we're going to be waiting until November. What does that mean for the current game, and like what are we going to be playing in that meantime? Well, it looks like we're going to be playing the same stuff we played for the last year since March. Cadence for the coming months is the next segment, and they say, well, we're hard at work on the next content update. We will rerun previous seasons released during year 2. In other words, the next season, season 5, will be a rerun of season 1, giving you the chance to collect rewards and collectibles that you might have missed out on. This also means there will be regular leagues and global events for you to participate in. Leagues and global events were actually quite fun. They're fun if you have friends to run them with. One of my biggest challenges is just everybody just stopped playing Division 2. They jumped back into Destiny. I didn't really have a regular crew to run with. I was constantly using the very few LFGs. Say what you will about Destiny. Destiny has an amazing PC LFG. You can basically get anything done at any time, and it just makes it a lot more user-friendly because of that usability. I would love to find a great Division group to run with. So if you know of one, let me know in the comments below. This also means leagues and events. On top of rerunning seasons, we will continue to support the game with new apparel events and some minor title updates focused on game health. I think the Division game should get a little bit more crazy with their apparel. The apparel, like the cosmetics in the game, have a lot to be desired. I think there's potential for a lot of really, really interesting things to do there, and they haven't really harnessed all the options there. And so massive. Get a little bit more crazy with your outfits. You have it so grounded in reality that, frankly, it's a little boring. I would love to see some more colorful things or some crazier sort of designs, even if they're based in reality. Like, I don't know, give me a real world Iron Man suit, maybe just something that pushes that envelope of post-apocalyptic a little bit further and just gives me something sort of silly or interesting to look like while I'm in the game. I would love that if that was possible, but who knows what challenges they're dealing with. Finally, there's a notable departure from the state of the games. So lastly, we want to provide you with an update on our State of the Game streams. Hammeshboard, our long-term host and one of the original architects of the State of the Game streams, has recently taken on a new role with Ubisoft, meaning that he will no longer be hosting the streams or be part of the stream setup. We want to take the time to congratulate Hammesh and thank him for everything he has accomplished in his 7 years working on The Division, and we're certain many of you will miss him as much as we already do. Again, we thank you. And again, we want to thank you again for your amazing support, and we can't wait to get your input on the future of Division 2. So, my feedback on The Division is basically that this is going to be a bit of a bummer that we're not going to have, constant new updates, but I think that's what they need to do in order to, keep the game alive. And while I have you here, I have Hammeshboard's goodbye tweet up. So let's just see what Hammesh had to say. Hammesh was the host for many years. He said, "Thanks so much to everyone for letting me be a part of the Division game and the crazy journey over 8 years. I'm going to miss it, but please don't be strangers. Who's up for a go at survival sometime soon? Read more self-indulgent rambling." So it sounds like he's gone on to potentially newer projects that he seems positive about. And yeah, Hammesh seems like a nice guy. So I'm glad to see that he's still with Ubisoft and, moving up in his career. I can't put it any more simply than working on The Division changed my life. For the past 8 years, I've had the absolute pleasure of working with a game that became more than just a 9-to-5, and to be moving to a new role after all this time is equally exciting and, to be honest, bittersweet. I'll definitely find it hard to let go of something that has been so formative for me. Massive has been an absolute dream, and from the get-go provided an environment where I was able to turn ideas into action in ways that I didn't imagine were possible. From giving turtleneck couture to Yannick, or creating literal magic on air with Quentin, State of the Game became a realization of the respect I believe communities should be afforded when spoken to by developers. Of course, many times we had to front up with not so good news, but it's always been important to me that players are given to form opinions based on truth. How else would we ever be able to get a reasonable level of respect in return? The best part of taking on a new role is that I'm afforded the opportunity to do so without leaving Ubisoft. This means I can hang around like a bad smell and still keep an eye on what's happening with the division as a part of the community. I actually get to be a fan with insider knowledge, so that definitely makes this all a little less difficult. As of the start of March, I'm working as communications manager for Ubisoft Stockholm, and while we aren't ready to share what we're cooking up just yet, I am extremely excited to share it with all of you when that day eventually arrives. Okay. All right. What you got? What you got? We look forward to it. We look forward to seeing what you're going to be doing. Also, I just wanted to finish this self-important ranting with a quick PSA. Developers work tirelessly to create incredible experiences for those of us that love games, and they are most definitely included in that group. Please always share your love with them. Never stop being critical. Always remain respectful. Thank you to all the friends in the Division community that have been such a pleasure to interact with over the years. I hope we can continue to do that, and I'll no doubt be lurking on your I'll be lurking in on all your streams. Sorry for butchering the last part of this. Unless you ban me. Don't do that. Again, it's been a treat, and it's time for me to move on and get out there myself. Heart Hamish. So I'm really, really happy to see that he's doing well, and I look forward to everything that he's going to do in the future. Hamish, if you're watching this, good for you, and I'm wishing you all the best. And if you're watching this and you're a Division player, what do you think about this update? I thought this was, I was looking back at the videos on the channel, and I'm like, man, I covered a lot of Division at the beginning of the year, and then I just kind of fell off. I should probably take a look at where the game's at and everything, and then I saw this update, and I felt like, this is a good time to make a video about it. So I'm curious, are you still playing the Division? Did you fall off at one point? Tell me a little bit about your Division story, and why did you stop playing? Are you still chasing anything? I would love to hear more. Anyway, that's it for Destin. Me, I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye, everybody.